Next up, a conjoined car caper.
All right, so we have another Hollywood myth, and this one comes from the movie Date Night, where two cars get into a head-on collision and become conjoined. Not only that, but they continue to drive around the city.
I know this one. They actually get stuck together. They go forward, backward, go around corners. It's awesome.
A little demolition, a little stunt driving. I love it.
It's a date night with a difference. According to the movie, two cars crash together, then speed down city streets, cut corners, and even manage a 180 spin. But could two conjoined cars even move, let alone achieve these turbocharged tricks?
All right, so we're gonna test whether these two conjoined cars can drive all these crazy maneuvers, right? But are we gonna test whether they can become joined that way in the first place?
No, actually, we don't have to test that. I was talking to these guys at the crash test facility, and they were saying that this can happen. Cars can become connected in a collision. It's very rare, like 1 in 100,000 chances, but it can happen.
Which means that could take days and days to replicate, not to mention that's quite a chunk of change.
Okay, so we'll join the cars ourselves, and we'll do just like they did in the movie, nose to nose, and make sure that they never separate.
Cool, because this myth really is about the maneuvers and not whether they can get stuck together. And we've got to design something that can accelerate, brake, do slide turns, 180s, and safely.
Exactly. Now the real question is, how the heck are we going to do this?
Well, step one is to get two cars more or less identical to the ones in the movie.
Here's what we got. Over here we have our cab, which is a basic sedan, rear-wheel drive. And for our sports sedan, since we can't afford a $158,000 car just to wreck, we got one with equivalent technology, it's got equivalent horsepower, and it's all-wheel drive.
And with that, step two is to turn them into a double act.
Whoa, hey, what's that?
It's got missiles. This is the coolest car ever. What the heck are these?
But connecting two cars bumper to bumper was never going to be easy.
All right, well, problem number one, this car has an all-aluminum frame, so there's no welding to it.
Well, that sucks.
No welding means that the MythBusters will have to come up with a plan B.
Now, initially, we were going to try and connect to the bumper, but that's not the strongest part of the car. The strongest part of the car is actually the frame. That's where the driver's cage is. That's the most rigid part of the car. So we're going to use that to connect frame to frame instead of bumper to bumper.
Let's put these cars together.
It's a heavy-duty solution
Oh, not using the light stuff.
that'll ensure that their heavy-duty cars stay nose-to-nose on the track.
Now, each of these cars weighs over 2 tons and will have to be stuck together driving over 40 miles an hour. So, we've designed a steel frame that will fuse to the taxi and that will bolt to the sedan. Simple.
And all that serious steel means they've got some serious welding to do.
Glamorous.
Very glamorous.
The guys take a page from Flashdance as the sparks fly. And slowly the date night frame comes together.
All right, so we're done building the frame that's going to keep the two cars together. As you can see, we've overbuilt it because there's going to be so much torque on that frame from the two cars that it has to be strong. The only thing left to do is to attach the frame to the bottom of the cars to get those two cars connected.
It's like a giant steel bow tie.
Cut the muffler off of any car, it sounds cooler.
The cars have got serious muscle, but with the aluminum side bolted in and the other side welded on, the frame should keep that in check.
So, all we need to do is get our cars on the flatbed and take it out to location to test this myth.
That's all they have to do. But with the connected cars weighing in at 4 tons,
Ho-ho! I think we got a problem here with this forklift.
that's not an easy proposition.
Whoa,
What's up?
it's making evil noises and it's kind of doing like this. Who would have thought this would be the most difficult part of the day? Just packing up the cars. We haven't even started the experiment.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Eventually, the double wide is loaded up and ready for its turbocharged excursion.
See you there.
The MythBusters have got double the trouble with a date night double driving myth. And And after some ingenious automotive surgery,
Look, Bob, no hands.
the conjoined cars are at Alameda, ready for the maneuvering mayhem.
So we're testing a myth from the movie Date Night, where two cars get in a head-on collision and they become linked together. During this whole 3-minute sequence, they drive around and around, back and forth. We're gonna start with the straight line test because potentially that is the safest and the easiest on the cars.
That's right, they're breaking the scene into its elements. The straight line test, the 90-degree turn, and the 180 spin. And first up, they're going straight. With the cab in neutral, can the sports sedan really shove it backwards at 40 miles an hour from a standing start? Well, once the cab gets its obligatory MythBusters makeover,
Now that's a taxi.
it's time to find out.
All right, so I'm gonna be playing the taxi driver. You guys are gonna be on a date.
All right, well, we're going 40 miles an hour as a myth state at a really fast street speed, and we're gonna start by going forward and backwards.
Can I drive first?
All right.
Let's go. It's our sports sedan. It's fast and it's got a lot of torque. But you know what? It's designed for a specific load. And by connecting our taxi cab to this car,
Hey, what are you doing? Get out of my way!
essentially we're doubling that load and making it even harder. And that means that all the torque that this car has, it's gonna need all of that to push this car out of the way.
Yep, the sports sedan may have the power, but can it shove the weight of the 4,000-pound taxi too? And can this double act max out at 40 miles an hour?
Ready?
Ready?
Let's do it.
All right, putting it into neutral. Parking brake off.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Amazing. Just like the movie, the sports car takes the taxi for a ride. But there's a slight problem.
I've got no steering.
40 miles an hour!
I've got no steering.
Brakes, brakes, no steering, brakes, brakes, brakes.
I only got brakes.
We went off course pretty fast.
Off course is an understatement. The tandem cars only narrowly missed the fence.
So we got up to speed, and I guess you could call this a straight line. Man, that was scary. The problem is that the turning axles that control the steering on our tandem car are actually in the middle, and what used to be the rear wheels are at the front, which means you have very little control over where you're going. And of course, with the sports sedan pushing double the load, the brakes have to work twice as hard, and you need twice the space to come to a stop. Who knows what's going to happen when we try to do this in reverse?
Yep, that's right. Reverse is next.
Let's do it.
Because stunt 2 of the movie has the sedan dragging the coasting cab at 40 miles an hour.
All right, 40 miles an hour in reverse. In 3, 2, 1, go! 20 miles an hour.
Look at that, we're already off course.
Once again, steering the 4-ton monstrosity is almost impossible.
40 miles an hour! Well, that's 40.
But the twin cars pull off the reverse.
Right now, it's looking very good for the myth. With connected cars, you can drive forwards and backwards at high speeds. You don't have much control, but it is possible. But I think the real question on everybody's mind is, how's the date going? And from my vantage point, pretty well.
I got a joke for you. Bartender says we don't serve time travelers here. Time traveler walks into a bar.
Driving in a straight line may be confirmed, but there's still plenty of double driving
Start turning now.
and dating to come.
I've got no steering.
So far in this date night driving drama, the conjoined car precision driving is 2 for 2. But next, the MythBusters are going round the bend.
All right, you ready to do this on the street?
We're all gonna crash.
So far, our two-car monstrosity works great, but that's only in a straight line. Now it's time to take it to a curve. And that's why we're here on an unmarked intersection to see how well our cars do in a real city street on a turn. Kari and I will be in the sports sedan, Tory will be in the taxi. Based on what I've seen so far, I'm not entirely sure how well this is gonna work. But hey, if we hit the curb, at least the taxi's leading.
Get off my cab!
In the movie, with the sedan providing the power, the tandem cars take turns at speed. But will getting double the trouble round a 90-degree bend be that straightforward?
Taking it to the streets in 3, 2, 1, go!
Grant gets the conjoined car up to 40 miles per hour, and then with the corner approaching, yanks the wheel.
So our turning radius is nothing.
But with the turning axles stuck in the middle of the cars, it's not looking good for the myth.
This doesn't seem to be working.
After repeated attempts, the MythBusters and the cars are still behind the curve.
Well, you know, we're fighting so many things here, I mean, including traction.
Well, in the movie, it was wet outside, and we do have a fire truck on site.
So how about we slip slide around the corner?
By matching the road conditions of the movie, the theory is that water will reduce the grip of the tires and let the car drift around the bend.
My feeling is adding water is just gonna make it harder for us to turn. It's kind of like driving on an icy road. Even if you have steering that works, you're gonna lose traction and you're gonna go straight. Water, not gonna help us.
Well, with the road watered down, it's time to find out if Tori's right.
Slippery and wet. In 3, 2, 1, go!
Once again, the car gets up to 40 miles per hour, but doesn't achieve the wet and wild slide. And it's clear that water alone doesn't make a difference.
Dry road or wet road, we're still not making the turn. But in the movie, although the sports sedan was brand new, the taxi, not so much. So we're gonna replicate what you might see on a taxi that's done thousands of miles of city driving. Bald rear tires.
It's definitely a likely scenario.
Ready to burn some rubber?
Do it!
And our taxi driver is ready to strip those tires. Tori lays down some rubber.
Do you believe we're getting paid to do this?
And soon enough, the tires look like they've seen serious action.
It looks bald to me.
I think that's great. Let's go for it.
You got a piece of tire in your hair.
Ah.
So this is our last-ditch attempt to get this turning to work. And we've balded the tires. We're going to have a wet road, thus reducing the traction of this set of tires. My prediction, probably still not going to work. I mean, we might get a better turn out of it, but look, there's no way we're making a 90-degree turn.
Well, let's find out.
All right, here we come, taking the corner.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Once again, Grant takes it to 40,
Start turning now.
and then nothing.
Not much of a difference.
Just like the movie, the sports sedan does all the steering, but they're still nowhere close to cornering, meaning there's only one movie variable left to try.
Now we're gonna switch it up. This time we're gonna have the taxi pushing the sports car. And we're thinking because the taxi is a two-wheel drive and it has bald tires, that we'll be sliding more and hopefully pivot around the sports car to make the turn.
It's the last chance for the myth. If the taxi can't slip the corner, then this date night bend is busted. Tori guns the cab, pulls the wheel, but the cars don't turn left. Instead, 50 yards downstream, they suddenly veer right.
Okay, stop!
By pure fluke, Tori finally got the cars around a corner, even if it was the wrong one.
We made the turn. All right, maybe not the turn I wanted to make, but it still made the turn.
So why did we turn the wrong way? Well, here's my theory. See, the taxi is a regular rear-wheel drive car. When Tori yanked the wheel, the front wheels lost traction, and that made the car unstable. Because of the wet road and the bald tires, that instability eventually resulted in the rear wheels sliding out. They happened to slide out to the left, and that meant the car turned to the right. Now, the sedan, on the other hand, has all-wheel drive and computerized traction control, so it never succumbed to the instability and thus never made the turn.
Whatever the reason for the wrong turn, one fact is clear. The corner turn is on the road to nowhere.
Okay, stop!
Driving in a straight line forward, confirmed. Driving in a straight line backwards, confirmed. Cornering, busted. We may have made the corner, but it was the wrong one, which is pretty much gonna get you killed. So the real question is, can we do the most spectacular maneuver, the 180 spin? I, for one, cannot wait for this one.
At the other end of the runway,
You ready for the fun maneuvers?
Oh, yeah.
the tandem car trio are taking the date night myth for its final spin.
So we have one more test to perform, and this is the finale of this sequence. Now, in a desperate attempt to finally get the two cars free, one driver turns the wheel in one direction, the other driver turns the wheel in the other direction, and instead of breaking apart, they spin around in a circle. But before we attempt that with this two-car freak show, what we need is a little practice.
A little practice with practiced defensive driver, Alameda County Sheriff Marvin Ruff.
Hi.
Hey,
You ready to teach me to drive dangerously, safely?
I am ready.
The guys will get to grips with the 180 spin technique on a normal car first.
Hand on the gear shift, spin the wheel.
Only when they've mastered this
Nice and smooth.
will they unleash their two-car beast.
Look at your focal point. Snap and roll, baby.
And just like that, school's out. So bring on this myth's grand finale.
Now, we know from the movie that it was a little vague who was doing the pushing, and after all of our corner tests, we're pretty sure the taxi's the one that has to do it.
In theory, having the thrust come from the rear-wheel drive taxi should increase their chances of making the 180.
All right, water, engage. Out of the way, or you're gonna get wet.
And 2,000 gallons of gray water will replicate the wet road conditions of the movie.
My big concern on this next test is flipping the cars. I mean, we've done this maneuver with one car, and it felt like it was gonna flip. Now that we have two, that's a lot more weight that could potentially cause these cars to roll. That could totally ruin Kari and Grant State.
Flipping out is a very real possibility for this test, particularly because this time the cars are going to peak at 50 miles an hour.
Okay, this is date night.
Spin around. 3, 2, 1, go!
For the last time, Tory puts the pedal to the metal and pushes their conjoined colossus up to speed.
40, 50 miles.
Then, the moment they hit the wet patch, Tory and Kari turn their steering wheels in opposite directions. And what do you know? A 180 spin. Not quite as clean as the movie, but a 180 nonetheless.
Woo! That's better than coffee.
I think I popped my back tire.
It's true that both rear tires popped, but they're the only things worse for wear.
It worked! We got the cars to spin just like in the movie.
That was awesome. I think we have to call that confirmed.
Absolutely confirmed and absolutely exhilarating.
I was having the time of my life. I was looking Tory dead in the eye half the time, going, come on! I knew exactly what he was doing, and it was so exciting. So yeah, that was pretty much the best date I've ever been on.
Now, we've done a little research. As it turns out, in order to achieve this effect in the movie, the special effects artist built one giant single chassis for both cars. All wheels had steering, and they had caster wheels underneath to stabilize. The actors weren't driving, the driver was actually in the trunk. And we achieved the very same effect with nothing but good old bald tires. Well, that was good fun.
Well, it ain't a date with a MythBuster till the wheels come off.
So it was a good date.
It was a good date.